What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unfiltered. Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit of marketing, a little bit of service-based and local-based marketing, and what we've done for us to scale to multiple seven figures and be able to grow your service-based business. So stay tuned. Why service business marketing is unique. First is trusted, based, and local. So people need to trust you to be able to pick from you. Specifically with us in our cleaning business, there's a million cleaning businesses out there. I think we can all attest. I would say it's very easy to earn trust, but it's very important. And it's also local. So people are dealing with you. They're probably dealing with a lot of people that they know. So it's just a lot going on when it comes to trusted, based, and also local. Word of mouth is powerful. But you can't really rely on it, right? So word of mouth, we've gotten plenty of jobs in the 10,000 a month range and up just off of word of mouth. Obviously, not in the beginning. It was in later years, and I'm still running my service-based business. So it is very powerful, but you can't really rely on it, right? It comes when it comes. It's not going to come consistently. So it's powerful, but it's, it just is what it is. Number two, how I got my first client. I spoke about this a couple videos ago. It took me about 2 years to get my first client. The first client became my wife's job. It was a warehouse. We were able to clean it 5 days a week. Second account, which I thought was my first account, but it was actually my second, was a restaurant. That was a complete disaster. That job, actually, we only had it for about 3 months, but that job caused me to focus specifically on a specific niche, a specific time, and a specific day that I would actually take on jobs. So what that looked like was we focused on offices that were being cleaned from 5 to 10 o'clock at night, and it was Monday through Friday. Those are the three main topics we focused on. We did not want restaurants. We did not want catering businesses. We did not want manufacturing, medical, none of those facilities, especially not malls and movie theaters and restaurants, even retail. It was too hard to build a consistent team structure and everything that comes with just organization. So we stuck to that, and that helped us wonders. When I first got started, everyone's saying, hey, you can clean this, you can clean houses, residential, you can clean everything. Don't limit yourself. You can make a killing doing everything. That was bad advice, because with any business, you want to start in the beginning, focus on one thing that you are selling. Apple did it, actually. They started with the computer. Then they went on and worked on the iPhone. Then they did the iPad, and so on and so forth. They didn't do all of it at once. So that's the same thing, advice I would give you is don't do everything for everybody. For me, I wanted my weekends to not stress about the work, because when I was kind of doing everything for everybody, 7 days a week, I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and that drove me nuts. I focused on that. That way I know Friday night, I don't have to worry about nothing on Saturday, nothing on Sunday. And if there were any complaints or anything that was going to happen, it was going to happen on Monday. This was a mental clarity, a mental break for me. So it was huge. I would highly recommend you guys start that way. And then as you start to develop those structures, bring in a supervisor, people to manage later on, especially when your team gets bigger, then you can add, as we did, 7-day-a-week accounts, outdoor shopping centers, gambling sites, whatever it may be, restaurants if you want to get into that, movie theaters, whatever your heart desires, medical facilities, anything like that. We started branching off to every different tier as time went on. We didn't focus on it solely in the beginning because it was just too wild. We didn't have a team. We didn't have somebody to do schedules. We didn't have all that. It was just me. So now we have a big enough team where we can kind of deal with, especially different state jobs. So local and then also in different states. So that was huge. How I got my first big contract. My first big contract was probably somewhere over $10,000. And I want to say it was probably a school. That was huge because the company that was there prior was there for about 15 years. So that was pretty interesting how they found us because they were local. They found us on Google. We were not running Google ads. We were not big enough at the time. I think this was 2016, if I'm not mistaken. We were not big enough. And I quite frankly didn't even know how to bid the type of jobs because it was multiple buildings. And one was a school, one was a clinic, and then another one was just offices. And then they had a lot going on. So it's very, very difficult. So I used just my charm, who I am as a person. And I was able to just extract as much information, how many people are cleaning here, what's the square footage of the building. And that helped a lot with just understanding what we are trying to bid in. And I put in a bid and they ended up going with it. It took a couple weeks, but they ended up going with it. And that was our first big account where it was very, very lucrative and we were able to scale that. And we still have that client till today. So that has just been our biggest at the time and most lucrative, I would say, because we've had them for 9 or 10 years. So that's been our first big account. All right, what's working today? So today we do many different things. We have a big enough team where we're able to kind of tap into everything. We're starting to tap into PR as well, which we've never done before. I don't have much experience on it. I'm meeting with a couple companies. So very, very interesting stuff. So I'm looking forward to branching off into that. The first thing that we started doing was Google ads. So Google My Business was obviously free organic. We were posting SEO related blogs on our website. And then obviously we were doing a little bit of social media. We weren't doing much. It was not a big hit for the cleaning business, specifically for commercial cleaning. I know it's a big hit for residential for sure. Especially when you're posting videos and pictures and all that stuff. It's definitely a big draw. So we were doing Google My Business, SEO related blogs and citations. And then after a while, we started to add paid ads, which we were probably spending maybe a couple $100s on Google, getting as much outreach as we possibly could outside of our local SEO. So that was pretty good. So I'm going to talk a little bit about paid ads and just the organic reach. Organic is so important to start, especially if you're in the beginning. Just like as mentioned before, SEO, citations, blogs on your website. We could talk about so many different avenues that you can go on the organic side, social media, posting, just doing videos just like this one. All of that time takes time and effort, but it doesn't cost you any money. So organic reach was so powerful for us that to this day, we have dedicated team members to work on our website and just kind of keep pushing that organic reach. Paid ads always works. I would say if you're starting, I wouldn't recommend in the beginning to do paid ads. I would probably go to any of those lead websites. So like Home Advisor. If you're going to do some Google ads, you could. I wouldn't spend too much, especially if you're in the beginning. But any of those lead, Bark is huge here in the Northeast. I don't know if it's where you are, but some of those types of lead ads is better to pay for them because they already have the client, and all you have to do is just go through the walkthrough and reach out to them. That's what I would pay for if I'm starting out, because there's so much to paid ads that you have to kind of understand. And if you're not ready, you just won't stick with it. And the most important for paid ads and organic would be consistency. Stay consistent. If you're going to go with paid ads, but stay consistent. Even if you don't understand it, you have to do your due diligence. If you're inconsistent, the algorithm will know it and it's not going to push you the way that it needs to. Same thing with organic. If you're just going to tap into it every so often, the algorithm's not going to pick it up and you're not going to be able to get it to where you need it to go. Networking and partnerships. Networking is so powerful. When we started, we used a platform, Score, I believe it was. They helped us get started. There was other business owners that were in the business, in the field, were able to give us insight, input on how to grow, how to scale websites, stuff that we had no idea about. Your local chamber of commerce would be the same concept. Networking with all of these people, you're gonna learn so much, whether it's even on podcasts, videos, YouTube, social media, Facebook groups. Join, network, talk, Ask questions. It is so big for your business. It's going to help you tremendously, and it's going to expedite your learning curve. Things that took me years to do, you can learn them in a couple of months, in a couple of weeks, in a couple of conversations, quite frankly. So networking, and it's huge. Partnerships as well. And by partnerships, I mean, if you're starting out, going on Google, reaching out to other cleaning business owners within your area and saying, hey, I got one of those calls today, actually. Someone reached out to our team, left a message, said, hey, I'm a local cleaning business owner. I'm really, really tiny. I'm getting started. Is there any subcontract work that you can sub out to me? We don't do any subcontract work. We are all in-house W-2 employees, but that is a great avenue to get you started and getting you to that next level. I wish I knew just that little piece of calling it took me 2 years to get my first account. If I would have just called someone in the neighborhood, say, hey, I have a small business, I'm getting started. You have anything that you can pass over to me and 1099 it? Oh, it would have been just that little thought I would have been making phone calls instead of trying to get my own first client. So just little things like that is huge, 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 especially when you get started. Number 4, how to keep clients long-term. This was trial and error. Many clients came and passed, just learning the systems, learning the processes, learning the business, learning your clients, what they like, what they don't like was very, very difficult and tough. And most importantly, the difficult part about it is the hiring. When you're bringing in new team members and you introduce them to your clients, you're now passing that relationship on from your staff and client, and now your staff are representing your business. So if they're not trained well, if they're not brought in to the company with the right process, the right hiring systems, they can tarnish your name. And we dealt with a lot of that when we first were in the beginning of growing, because you have to bring team members, because you would drive yourself crazy if you don't bring in team members. And for them, they probably could care less. It just depends. It's a lot of trial and error to bring in those processes, those systems in place to be able to bring in the right team members to introduce to your client, to then be able to keep clients long-term. We've lost quite a few clients when we were getting started building and growing and doing that, trying to build the consistency and the structure of keeping our employees happy, hiring the right people, bringing in the right staff. That was and is, even sometimes to today, is still just kind of a very difficult thing, because somebody will throw you a monkey wrench and say, hey, I got through your system and now I'm going to quit, or whatever the case may be. Or gossip, or talk to your clients about X, and they shouldn't be talking to them. Different things like that. Customer service as a marketing tool. Customer service has gotten me very big clients. Just being who I am, just being myself, not trying to portray our company to be something that it's not, just trying to portray to be myself, has gotten me plenty of big clients. And more importantly, just people feel as if they just belong part of your team, right? And that's what clients want to feel. They want to feel like they're bringing in a team member that's going to work with them closely to be able to achieve their goal. The next one will be building a brand that people trust. So your marketing, on your branding, all of that stuff, your logo, your brand book, all of that stuff is huge, because it engraves in people's heads long term to be able to build a brand. And that's just as far as the logo goes. And then the integrity, the trust, the know, like, and trust factor, the customer service aspect of it, who you are, your team members, all of that stuff takes into effect. So this is a many years and probably a never ending thing, but being there for your customers, even when there's complaints, tough situations, things that may go wrong, people love that. I found that building a brand that people can trust, it's not that our company is going to go in and not make a mistake. It's that when we go in there and we make a mistake, we own up to it, we take care of it, and we fix whatever that problem is. And just being transparent will help build more of that trust. I can tell you a quick little story. We had a medical facility, many medical facilities, but this specific medical facility, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I think we had about 4 or 5 staff members in that specific building. And it was Friday night. They decided to throw a party without any of us knowing. Our site supervisor there was not there that day, was out sick. They decided to order pizza and beers. That is a big no-no. It just so happens our area supervisor decided to pop in and just out of coincidence, because we do our pop-up inspections, and we ended up finding some of the issues. We ended up firing all of those people the next day, every single one of them. We brought in a new team with our team members the very next day. That very next day, the client calls us and says, come to the hospital. We want to discuss something with you. And this was a remote location, a big location that they had outside of their hospital. So my operations manager and myself go in, and they show us a video and pictures and everything of them, beer cans and pizza boxes all over the place. And I kid you not, I told the facilities person there, it's funny you're bringing this up to us because we actually caught them doing that. And all of them were fired yesterday. And he looked at me and he says, really? Wow, that's great to hear. Wow, you're really on top of things. And for us, it wasn't even that we were on top of it. It was that we got lucky that our area supervisor went in and saw it, and we began the process to eliminate them the next day or fire them. But he went ahead and said his demeanor and everything changed completely once I told them they were all fired, and had their badges, handed over their badges, and said, we're going to be bringing in X amount of new people. These are their names. We're going to send you an email, and we'll get them keyed in and ready to go for the next day. He said, wow, you guys are awesome. Like, the fact that you took care of this. I mean, we were bringing you in thinking that you're going to have to do something about this, but it turns out that you already did everything. And I said, yeah, that's what we do. We, sometimes some of it, and I told her, I said, sometimes this slips through the cracks. It turned out that our area supervisor came in and caught him. So therefore, we eliminated him. And he was just so ecstatic. I left that meeting and he was just shaking my hand, just happy about the whole scenario. He's like, don't worry about it. Bring whoever you need to bring in, take care of it tonight, so on and so forth. And that solves so many, that's building a brand. It's just, things are going to happen. Things are going to pop up, but own up to it. Try to have a team. At this point, we already had a big enough team that we can do things like this. And, since our on-site lead was not going to be there, we're like, hey, just kind of pop in and just check in on the guys. And that's what we ended up finding. Just doing that builds your reputation, your brand, and customers will love it. Plenty of situations like this, many stories that we'll go over some other time, but we'll dive deeper into some stories and some stuff that I have going on. How to upsell and expand your services. I didn't start doing this till about 5 years ago. This, and also increasing rates on an annual basis. And then that led to putting it in the contract where we're going to do a 2-year contract and 5 to 7% increase year after year. Upsells, generally they're easy because what we do is we put in a proposal. This is the price for janitorial, window cleaning, carpet cleaning, stripping and refinishing, any of those additional services, upholstery, we put bill separately, right? And if they would like those services, they just generally ask, oh, what's your price per square foot, or whatever the case may be, price per piece, if it's upholstery, or any of those pricing structures, price per window for windows, and so on and so forth. So once those clients start to say, hey, we got a coffee stain here, can you take care of it? Sure, this is the price, or XYZ, whatever it may be. That is usually the easiest way. You just have it in your proposal, so that way they know that you do it. And then when they reach out to you, sometimes they can reach out to you, or if you had them for 6 months, however you do your floor care treatments, 4 times a year, 2 times a year, once a year, whatever it is, you can put it on your calendar and your schedule, and you can reach out to your customer and say, hey, we've been working with you for 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is. Or if it's more than that time, you can say, hey, it's our annual time to see if you're interested in carpet cleaning or stripping and refinishing. So you can do any of that. You can call them, you can email them, you can create an email template or anything like that. That's what we do. And we also, when we go in and check in with the clients, we also let them know, hey, if you need this, we need this windows clean, we need this, we can take care of it. Expanding services, I would say picking your specific niche, what you want to do and who you want to target is huge. We discussed that earlier. Expanding services, I would only expand services if you are able to handle the business. So for example, when we started doing carpet cleaning, we did not expand into residential carpet cleaning, meaning going out to get residential clients. We did it specifically internal, where we were only doing it for our clients. So that eliminated the constant calls of other of residential clients or anybody else saying, hey, you carpet clean, hey, you do this, hey, you do that. We didn't want the headache of dealing with more business while not being able to sustain it with the right cleaning techs and so on and so forth, or carpet cleaning techs. So we just did it internally. And then we had our supervisors manage it and oversee it and bring whoever we need to bring to take care of the floors and so on and so forth. And also, I'll add one more piece to it. In the beginning, we didn't have the machinery because it was super expensive, right? So what we did is we outsourced it. We said, hey, can you give me a price to clean this carpet or clean this floor? And then a contractor would say, hey, normally we charge this price, but since you're subbing it, we could do this price. So then I go to my client, I do like a 30% upsell, make 30%, pay the contractor what he is. And generally our customers would take whatever it is that we bid, because they're not going out to bid anywhere else. They're going to stay here. What is it? Okay, good. They either want it or they don't. And then we would just pay our contractor and take our fee, and then that's that. And as we started getting more revenue, we started buying our own equipment and we started doing it ourselves. Now we're getting all of that spread, and that helped with pricing as well, because we know what the competitor is pricing. So now we can add our pricing, and you got pricing down and you got equipment. You're able to continue to scale. Final thoughts and takeaways. All right. Most important marketing lessons I've learned would be mainly to be consistent. When we started SEO, we said it and we forgot about it. We constantly paid our team members to continue to run SEO and just keep doing what you're doing. We did it since 2018. We're still doing it today. So it's just being consistent. What to avoid when marketing a service-based business. For us, we tend to avoid competing. I know that may sound counterintuitive. We try not to compete with others. We try to just create our own lane. Everyone's trying to get that one client's attention, marketing dollars, doing all this stuff. For us, we try to just stand out. And we do that many different ways. Sometimes we send videos of our staff to clients or potential clients via email or like news blast. So we tend to try to think outside the box to be able to get that customer's attention. I remember when Google first, another thing that makes me think, when Google first allowed you to put pictures on your Google ads. That wasn't a thing years ago. You weren't able to put pictures. It just said sponsored. As soon as they approved pictures, we were putting pictures when we were running ads, and you could see my face, and I brand myself. You could see my face, and people buy it. That's another thing. People buy from people. People do not buy from businesses. If you try to promote your business, hide behind your logo, people will call somebody else like me, because they're going to see my face. They're going to see who we are. They're going to know, like, and trust you. And that's going to go further, even if I'm more expensive. It's just, people want to work with people. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Next episode, we're going to talk about profits and pricing. All right. Some key takeaways in this video. Marketing is not one size fits all. What works for you may not work for me, and vice versa. The industry you serve may not work for the industry we serve. Long-term clients are always more valuable than one-time clients. One-time clients are really good for generating that additional revenue, but the consistency in janitorial is definitely more valuable. Branding and trust building makes sales easier. Brand yourself, brand your company with you, and build that trust over the course of some years. And your sales just come from that. So just be confident, be you. That's a wrap for today's episode of Unfiltered with Daniel B. I hope today's discussion gave you some valuable takeaways for your own business journey. If you found this episode helpful, please share it, and don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast so you never miss an episode. Adios.